everybody to beautiful Miami and Hard Rock Stadium, site of this year's Capital One Orange Bowl, part, of course, of the college football playoff. Hi, folks, and welcome to this highly competitive matchup, as we'll see a team from the ACC, the SMU Mustangs, taking on the 21st ranked team, the Indiana Hoosiers. For EA Sports College Football, Chris Fowler, joined as always by Kurt Kernstreet. Kurt, let's get right to the action. Return starts from inside the 5. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. The SMU Mustangs will get their first crack on offense today. Let's check out the impact players in this game. There are guys that are going to have to step up and deliver. The teammates look to them. Coaches are counting on them today.
Chris, I think these are the guys that show the most consistency, and I think that's why we're showcasing them. And they're going to have to be able to step up and not only make plays, I think provide the leadership. Coaches told us all week that these are the guys that really are unique within this program, and hopefully they play well today. This offense is known for that up-tempo approach. The defense has got to make their calls and get adjusted and ready to play.
And they'll tackle at about the 23-yard line. And the Mustangs hustle to the line to crank up the tempo. Fakes the handoff here, looking to throw it. Pressure is coming. He'll take a deep shot here. Deep ball is caught for a huge gain here. And just like that, in one play, they move to scoring position at the 23.
You got to be careful of creating one-on-one opportunities against this offense. You start to get your safeties down a little bit close to the line of scrimmage, you're going to create one-on-one chances, and this quarterback is good enough to make you pay for it.
So after the massive play, it's first down just outside the red zone now. Scanning the field, it's Jennings. The receiver makes the catch. Defense shoves him out of bounds. Not much of a gain there. The Mustangs move into the red zone. They look to throw it here on second down. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up third down. A pre-snap motion from the offense. Third down play here out of the shotgun. Grab down the middle. It's Knight. Finally get him way down at the 2. Nice pitch and catch.
I love it. Keep the kicker on the sideline. This offense knows when you're in the red zone, you got to come away with 6. Great play to keep this drive moving.
And the Mustangs pick up first down yardage to keep the drive going. Quarterback still with the football. Floaters into the end zone. Touchdown, SMU.
This is why this offense is one of the more dangerous offenses in the country. The quarterback and his legs. It's one thing to try to stop him throwing the football, but you better keep eyes on him because you can see not only can he get out into the open, he has got serious speed to take it to the house.
And they'll set up for the PAT. PAT makes it 7-0. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. And here's the return from inside the 5. So the Indiana Hoosiers offense takes the field. Our first chance to see them today. Kirk, we've seen this quarterback build a reputation for making plays when his team really needs him.
Well, I think the best thing about his, he's just consistent. You know what you're going to get with this guy. He typically makes very good decisions, but every once in a while, when he needs to step up and make a play, he's more than capable. How about the arm strength from this quarterback. He really didn't have any other option than to put it right in there and give it everything that he had. Great timing and a good job of squeezing that in between the defenders.
Moves the ball to the 25, good enough for a first down. Empty set now, 5 wide receivers. Back to throw, it's Mendoza. Incomplete, tried to find the receiver there, just missed him. At the 25, it's 2nd and 10. Can they make it a 3rd and manageable here? Looking to pass here on 2nd down. Looking deep down the left side. Oh, and he's got it. Big gain inside the 25. And he goes down after a huge gain. What a play for this offense. The spark they needed. So one enormous play, and this offense is threatening almost into the red zone. Oh, down he goes. It's a sack.
Well, this RPO didn't work out, and quarterback tried to bounce that to the outside to his left, but give the defense a lot of credit. They're waiting right there for him, and they get him for a loss.
That O-line has to regroup now. It's 2nd and 12. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun. And the receiver snags it. It's complete. Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the marker. And he'll drop back here on 3rd down. But they don't make the connection. That one is incomplete. Coach elects to try for 3 points and sends out the field goal unit. This will be a 35-yard attempt. And it sails right through the middle of the uprights. Solid kick.
I was watching this guy in pregame. He has got a strong leg. I'm surprised here he's able to put 3 points up here for the offense.
So after the field goal, the kicker out there again to boot it away. He'll return it from inside the 5. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. Quick throw to the right. It's caught. And this one goes nowhere. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. The Mustangs come up to the line to crank the tempo up here.
Well, that was definitely not what they had in mind, but look at this. Here comes the tempo again. Undeterred by the tackle for a loss.
A solid run, good for first down yardage.
And that's what he likes to do. He knows he's a weapon out there, not just with his arm, but when he can pull it down on an option like this and pick up a big chunk of yards, it can leave any defense with their head spinning.
No huddle here for the offense.
Pretty good gain here by this offense, and here they are. They're getting already set to the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go. Defense better get their cleats in the ground.
They've got him at the 48, but that's a first down. And the Mustangs are moving quickly down the field.
Boy, this quarterback's doing a great job of just managing the game. Nice throw, good completion on first down, and he's already got a play call. He's ready to snap the ball again.
Offense operating at high tempo now, no huddle. The shotgun handoff here. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. Offense comes up to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before the quarter expires. They'll try to move the chains here on the ground. It's a solid game to pick up the first down and what'll be likely the final play of this first quarter. And Kirk, it's SMU with the lead here. Let's check out the stats now through the opening period. They've flipped ends of the field, ready now for the second period. Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. On the run, it's Harden. They get him down, but that's a solid gain. Second down after that run on the previous play. And now the handoff. And they try the middle, but stuffed for no gain. Now it's 3rd and short from the 21. Defense trying to make a stand here and prevent a touchdown. To throw, it's Jennings. Can't hold on. Good defensive play. Brings up a 4th down. The decision is not to go for it on 4th down. Here comes the field goal team. The distance will be from 38 yards out. And it's good right down the middle.
Snap, the hold, the kick, everything there perfect to put 3 points up here for the offense.
Following the field goal, the kickoff team is out there now. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. A solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. And for the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. Tight end goes in motion. First down, looking to throw the ball. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read the defense properly and then just get it to the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback. Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
Fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Graham behind the line. It's Cooper. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time. And the Hoosiers line up on 1st and 10 now. There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. That one falls incomplete. Good defensive play. Brings up 2nd down. They misfire in 1st down, so it's 2nd and 10 from the 41. Moving the receiver around pre-snap. They're going to run it here.
It's a good, solid gain. 5 or 6 yards. Love to see that from the running game.
Solid gain in the running play. 3rd down now. Looking downfield. It's Mendoza. Caught over the middle. It's Cooper. That play enough for a 1st down. The offense set up at the 43. How aggressive do you get on the 1st and 10? And he keeps it. They stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4.
Boy, draws and screens are a great way to counter an effective pass rush. Allow those defensive ends to get upfield and then hand it off at the last second.
A gain makes it 2nd and medium. Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. They've got him in the backfield. Nowhere to go, a 2-yard loss. They're backed up here trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. Dropping back, looking to throw for the 1st down. Grab behind the line, it's Hemby. And they get the conversion there. 1st down now from the 33. You set it down to the offense, 1st and 10. And the quarterback drops back, looking for an open man. Throws to the tight end. He's wide open, look out. The tackle is made, but the offense is now set up with a 1st and goal from the 8.
Boy, Chris, great timing here with the quarterback against that zone defense, waiting just at the right time to deliver it into that window to pick up a nice gain.
Quarterback drops back, looking to set up a screen pass here. And he never had a chance, tackled in the backfield. So off the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 11. Back to throw again. Looking for 6. And he makes the catch. Touchdown, Indiana.
Perfect timing here by this quarterback. Great read, puts the ball where his man can make a play on it, and they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
And now here comes the point after attempt. There's the point after. Kickoff team out there. They are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. Fields it just outside the goal line. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. So here we go. First play of the drive. Under 2 minutes before halftime. Looking to pass. It's Jennings. The pocket breaking down. So it's second down and long here from the 13. Offense looking to throw the ball. That's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact. No flag. Brings up third down. Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off. Picks up about 5 yards, but it's not enough. Becomes a fourth down now. And now the defense decides to spend a timeout to regroup a bit. And on fourth down, the punter sends it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And he's going to get run out of bounds after a small pickup on the return. Quarterback operating an empty set. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he makes the catch! That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks. More than enough for a first down. Looking to throw it on first down. Makes the grab with plenty of room to run. The offense will call a timeout. That's their second of the half. The Hoosiers looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. And the ball is handed off out of the shotgun. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior. The offense will spend a timeout to get on the same page. Second down after that run on the previous play. From the shotgun, drops back. Dumps it down to the back. Clock. They bring him down short of the end zone, but this will set up a first and goal. And the Hoosiers looking to crank up the tempo a bit. Dropping back. It's Mendoza. Bringing pressure. And he could not be stopped. Touchdown, Hoosiers.
I think the drop back here really fools this defense at the goal line. Good call by the offensive coordinator to give the quarterback options. You could see the defense kind of on their heels, so the quarterback decided to take off, and he was just too quick to get to the goal line.
Now the try here for the extra point. PAT puts them in front by 7. So an important touchdown just before halftime. Not much time for the opposing offense to try to answer before the break. He'll return it from inside the 10-yard line. Not much on the return. They'll stop him at the 24. Good coverage. So they start the drive looking for some late fireworks here. Less than 30 seconds before halftime. And they'll run it out of the shotgun. That run takes it across the 30-yard line. So a timeout is called. Just a few seconds left here in the first half. It's like the final play of the half coming up. Second down, we're going to throw it. Quick completion to the tight end. And the runner steps out of bounds, but does have enough yardage to pick up the first down. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Fellas, by the looks of things, we've had one enjoyable first half in Springfield. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And on that note, time to throw it back to our guys at the stadium.
The Mustangs will kick this away to get the second half going. He's going to return it from near the goal line. Tackled at the 22. Good job by the coverage team. Offense out for the first play of the drive, beginning at the 22. And the back now goes in motion. Looking to throw. It's Mendoza. Caught by the receiver. He's brought down quickly. A short gain gets them a few yards closer to the marker. Pass caught. Second down now. Play fake. Looking to throw. Catch made over the middle. Tackle made to the 41. That's a nice gain, getting closer to midfield. See what the call is on 1st and 10. Handoff here from the shotgun. They've got it in the backfield. Nowhere to run. They'll lose a yard on the play. Offense now behind the 6 on 2nd down. They need 12 after that 1st down loss. Quarterback looking to throw it on 2nd down. And he dumps it off to the tight end. Not easy to bring down. The cornerback finally gets the job done. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down. Running out of time in the pocket. Just gets the pass away, but took a shot that time. The Hoosiers will line up to kick it away. And the offense forced to punt for the 1st time tonight. Not what he was hoping for. Instead of pinning the offense deep, it's a touchback. Here's the first play of the drive now from the 20-yard line. Here comes a 1st down pass attempt. Physical defending. That one falls incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. After the incompletion, 2nd and 10. What can they do here to make it 3rd and manageable? Caught in the backfield. It's Hudson.
Love the timing here between the quarterback and his receiver. Pick up some positive yards, and I continue to be impressed with just the chemistry between these two.
It's 3rd down. Quarterback in the shotgun. This one's going to fall incomplete. Brings up 4th down. And the Mustangs will have to kick it away when he comes for his 2nd punt of the game. We'll see what he can do with the return. And the returner brought down by that coverage team. And here comes the Indiana offense back out on the field. They were forced to punt it last time. Now they're looking to respond and add to this lead. And here's the handoff. Fighting off the defender. And the senior able to make the stop after a short gain. 2nd down after that run on the previous play. Play fake, looking to throw. Defense is coming after him. Grab down the middle. It's Cooper. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a 1st down. A new set of downs after that completion. Caught behind the line. It's Morris. They bring down the receiver, but that's a nice gain on that play. 2nd down play coming up for this offense. Back goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense adjusts. He's got it in the open. He's tackled quickly, but the yardage is good enough for the 1st down. And the Hoosiers looking to keep this drive moving. Looking to throw again. Caught over the middle. It's Williams. And they finally stop him down at the 5. Solid gain on that catch and run.
Chris, all week they heard about how fast this guy is. The defensive coordinator told them they watched the film. They've seen this guy a lot. But I think the reality is seeing it now in person, I think it's surprised them. They've got to make some adjustments to their defense, or this guy and his speed will continue to have a field day.
There's the handoff on 1st and goal. Slams right into your wall. They got him for a loss. So off the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 8. Dropping back, it's Mendoza. Nowhere to go here, and the ball is knocked loose. Ball scooped up by the defense. Past midfield. He's past the 30. Past the 10. Touchdown, Mustangs. A big man score from distance. Something he dreamt about. That is a game-changing play by this defense.
Well, game-changing. The momentum now is on their side. They've got confidence that they can finish this game off and get a win. If they do, we're going to remember this play right here.
And now they'll set up for the point after. The PAT is up and good, so we're tied up here in the third quarter. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Bringing it out, it's Morris. Returner tackle right there. That's when they start the drive. Here's the first play of the drive now. They're backed up with their own 14. It's a keeper. Breaks into open space.
Man, when your quarterback can run the football like this, it puts so much pressure on the defense. The defense coordinator spent all week preparing his unit to be able to stop this offense. But when this quarterback's able to pull it down and pick up yards like that, it's an extra headache for the defense to have to deal with.
So 2nd and 10 here as they try to stay out of 3rd and long here in this tie game in the third quarter. But the gain is just 1 yard. Sets up a 3rd and 9 now. So the offense getting set. This is not where you want to be against this defense. 3rd and long. To the air. It's Mendoza. Looking for his back. Makes the grab. It's Hemby. And the gain just good enough for a first down. The Hoosiers come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. And the motion by the back now forces the defense to adjust. Quarterback looking to scramble. Picks up the first and is still going. They finally make the tackle all the way down to the 32.
Man, this quarterback can play the game. He can throw, and as we see here, he can run the football. The defense does everything that they need to with the pressure. They look like they're in good position to be able to come up with a nice play on him, but instead, he shows how he can slip out of the back door of this defense and pick up a nice gain.
Again, thrown out of the RPO, and it's complete. Defense stops him short of the first down marker, and that'll do it for the third quarter of play. We get to the end of 3. It's been a tremendous competitive battle, Kirk, as we check out some of the stats so far. And let's see how this one unfolds in the final quarter, set to get underway. Here we go, first play of the quarter. Offense setting up for a 2nd down play. He finds some space. Now it's 3rd and short from the 22. You expect this is 4-down territory. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. They try to sneak it for the first.
Good call here by the offensive coordinator. Go with quarterback sneak here on 3rd and inches, and he's going to get the first down. It's a great time to catch the defense off guard. Get up to the line of scrimmage quickly, get the lineman down, quarterback under the center, quick snap, and get the yardage you need for the first down.
Tackle is made at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal right there. They'll try to run it in on 1st and goal. And he goes nowhere. Stop cold behind the line of scrimmage. Ball back at the 10-yard line now for 2nd and goal. Back in motion now. To the air. It's Mendoza. Looking to the end zone. Oh, and it's batted down by the defense. Great play to deny a touchdown. Offense moving backwards here a long way from the goal line now. Trying to throw for it on 3rd and goal. Launching one to the end zone. Touchdown, Indiana. They jump on top now here in the 4th.
Well, that's just textbook right there. Great timing and recognition by the quarterback. Great route by this receiver. He gave a nice stem to the outside before he went to the post. Perfect timing, tough to defend, and an easy touchdown for this offense.
Here's the point after attempt. PAT is up and good. They lead by a touchdown here in the 4th quarter. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. And he'll bring it out from inside the 10. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. First down, looking to throw the football. Fires it to the wideout. Oh, what a grab! Moves his way for a first down to the 35.
Great job by the quarterback with an accurate throw against man coverage for a first down. Overall, by the entire group, good execution by this offense.
Gain moves it to the 35, first down again. Off the play fake, looking to throw. And he's going to take a shot down the left side. And it's hauled in way downfield. Tackle made quickly, but a big chunk play for this offense through the air.
That is great arm strength and accuracy by this quarterback. And let's not forget the wide receiver's job of bringing it in for that big gain.
They continue to march toward a game-tying touchdown. It's 1st and 10. Grab down the middle. It's Hudson. He picks up 9, so just short of the first down, 2nd and 1. The Mustangs will hustle to the line to crank the tempo.
This defense has got to be aware of these quick throws to these wide receivers. They're lucky he didn't come up with more yards.
Back to throw. It's Jennings. Deep shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, SMU. Great catch when they desperately needed it.
Boy, an easy throw, an easy read, and an easy catch for the touchdown. I thought the receiver might have to call a fair catch. He was so open.
Here comes the point after attempt. The PAT is up and good, and we are all tied here in the final quarter. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. And he takes this from inside the 5. And he stopped at the 20, trying to make something happen, but that's good coverage there. Here's the first play of the drive now from the 20-yard line. Takes the handoff. It's Beebe. Nowhere to run up the middle. So they get nothing on the first down run. Brings up 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down. That pass falls incomplete. Well, it's been tough so far to get this drive going. Now they face 3rd and 10 from inside their own 20. What's the call going to be? Dropping back. They're going to throw for the first down. From the pocket, delivers over the middle. They make the stop just short of the marker. It's going to be 4th down and inches to go. And the Hoosiers will line up to punt it away. Looking to kick it away for the 2nd time. The coverage team able to bring the returner to the ground. Gets it out quickly to the left side.
Great execution on the RPO. Quarterback does a nice job as he's putting the ball into the belly of the back, making sure to read his key. This defense was determined. They came up to stop the run. Quarterback saw it, pulled it out, hit the quick slant right behind it for some great yards.
Go to the sideline, steps out after a short gain. One of those critical 3rd down plays coming up. Some pre-snap movement, back in motion. Scanning the field, it's Jennings. Quick throw, catch made on the out route. They make the stop just short of the marker. It's going to be 4th down and inches. And the Mustangs will bring their punt team onto the field. Ball lands at the 8 and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. The offense with 5 receivers now, empty backfield. Motion by the back, defense better adjust. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. The sure hands, it's Cooper. The defense drops him for a loss. He went backwards there. A 2nd down behind the sticks now. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Pass complete on a crossing route. He's swarmed by the defense. They crank up the tempo here for this important 3rd down play. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. He makes the grab. He's in the clear. Crosses the touchdown, Hoosiers. And they take the lead here in the fourth quarter.
What a thing of beauty by this offense to put that go-ahead score up on the board. The quarterback played with tremendous composure when the game was on the line. Now we'll see if his own defense can hold on to this lead.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. PAT is up and good. They lead by a touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Return starts from inside the 5. Steps out of bounds at the 19. That's where they'll start the drive. Here's the first play of the drive now. They begin at the 19. Dropping back, it's Jennings. Nice grab. It's Hudson. They get him down, but that's a nice play. Moves the ball to the 33. A timeout is called. Talk some strategy on this very important drive. Back now goes in motion. Defense will have to adjust. Here's a quick throw off the play fake.
You know, it's a nice completion, but it's kind of another short game. The defense is keeping everything in front. I think the offensive coordinator's got to find a way to take some vertical shots to get some chunk plays.
They need to score quickly here, trying to dial up some big plays. Quarterback looking to pass here on second down. Caught over the middle. It's Knight. Play moves the ball to about the 45. That's good for a first down. The offense signals for timeout. 28 seconds remaining on the clock. And looking to throw now on first down. Looking for his big tight end. Grab down the middle. It's Maryland. Good enough for first down yardage. They'll hurry to the line here with the clock running. And the offense wisely spikes the ball here to stop the clock. Second down after that previous play. Looking for a man. What a catch. Tackle finally made down at the 13-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, this guy's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. And here we are, late in the game. He needs to continue to play with that consistency, and that's a great example that he's up to it.
The offense getting closer to a game-tying touchdown. It's 1st and 10. Here comes a throw from the red zone. Looking for 6. Touchdown, Mustangs. What a grab in the end zone in a clutch moment.
Now you've got a big decision. What a great touchdown. But think about it. If you kick the extra point, you tie the game up, probably go to overtime. Or do you roll the dice and go for 2 and potentially win the game?
So tied up after regulation, we go to overtime. Remember, in college football, it's dueling possessions. In the second overtime, if we get there, you have to go for 2 points if you score a touchdown. And the third overtime, Kirk, this becomes a series of 2-point tries.
And I know that's your favorite, to see if we can get to that third series of these overtimes. I love extra football, so I'm looking forward to this. Let's see who's going to win it.
The Mustangs will have 1st and 10 here. Back to pass. It's Jennings. Looking for the tight end, and it's caught. They finally tackle him at the 4. It's a solid gain on the pitch and catch.
And here the tight end shows off his hands for a nice gain. Love to see the big man get his touches.
So here we go. The offense has 1st and goal here in overtime. Keep it on the ground on 1st and goal. Couldn't quite get there. Brought down at the 2. See if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. Looking to score with a run to the right. Going to try to run inside, but nowhere to go. Here we go. Biggest play so far. Can the defense get a stop on 3rd and goal here in OT? They'll try to run this one in. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. So now the field goal team is out here trying to take the lead here in overtime. And that one's straight down the middle. And they jump back in front.
Well, they almost put a touchdown on the board, but instead they come away with 3 points.
So they line up now knowing a touchdown wins the football game. They need a field goal at least to force another overtime. Here's some pre-snap movement in the backfield. First play of the drive, they come out throwing. And now the ball comes out. A disastrous play from the start. Defense makes the recovery a turnover. to Pasadena and the majestic Rose Bowl, one of the unique settings in all of sport. This year's Rose Bowl, presented by Prudential, is a crucial part of the college football playoff. Hi, folks, and welcome to this highly competitive matchup, as we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Indiana Hoosiers, taking on the 19th-ranked team in the land, the SMU Mustangs. For EA Sports, I'm Chris Fowler, joined in the booth by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get this thing going. Mustangs will kick this deep. So it'll be a touchback, ball spotted at the 25. So Indiana's offense making their way on the field today. And the reason why this is one of the games of the week is you've got a receiving core that's just been lighting people up. So hard to stop collectively. But they're running into an elite defense that's filled with confidence too, Kirk.
Yeah, Chris, I'm going to turn it around a little bit and talk about, I think, the offensive line. We know what the receivers can do. Will the quarterback have enough time against this defense to be able to make the throws where he can try to expose the secondary? That's the real challenge. Can you protect the quarterback to give these receivers a chance to make plays?
Makes the catch downfield. They bring him down, but an explosive play by this offense. Big game.
Man, what a great effort by the tight end. Not only does he make the catch, but how about the effort there to break that tackle to pick up more yards?
So the offense with the 1st and 10 now. The football placed exactly at midfield. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Slides with the throw. Tackle made after a big play all the way to the 27.
Just a good job of spreading the wealth, making sure everybody's getting their touches. When you do that, the defense can't lock in on one guy or two guys. Make them have to be aware of everybody, and allows you to continue to spread the ball around and spread the field, making it tougher for this defense.
The Hoosiers will line up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's an inside give. Has the first down and more. And he'll get the first down yards before they finally bring him down. And the Hoosiers are going to take advantage of this red zone trip. Play action fake, looking to throw. He's got it right near the end zone. And he scores! Touchdown, Indiana! Well, that start could not have gone any better, Kirk.
Well, Chris, as you know, it's always huge for an offense's confidence to score on the opening drive. Most times, coordinators are just kind of feeling the defense out, giving them a lot of different formations, kind of see how they react. To get points on the board, man, that's a huge plus.
Now the all-important extra point. PAT is good, so it's 7-0. putting up the touchdown. The kickoff team is out there to boot it away. And here's the return from inside the 5. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. The Mustangs offense gets their first crack now. We know this top quarterback is a confident guy, but talking to him, he's also well aware how good that edge pass rusher on the other side is.
Well, he better be ready today. He's got great skill. We know what he's capable of doing, but this will be the best defensive end that he's faced all year with that kind of pass rushing ability. So he's going to have to maneuver around in that pocket to make plays.
The Mustangs hustle to the line to run the hurry up.
Well, not much of a gain there, but this is what they do. They love to go fast. The defense has got to be aware.
And it'll be smarter right at the line for no gain. They come to the line, a long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Send the back in motion. Looking downfield, it's Jennings. Grabbed behind the line, it's Harden. And the defense swarms, not much of a gain on that completion. And the Mustangs will send the punt team onto the field. He's on to kick it away, helping his team with field position. Fielding the punt, looking to improve field position here. He's brought down, but a good effort to make something of that return. So here comes the first play of the drive. They'll begin at their own 46. Off the play fake, looking to throw on first down. Great cut, they whiff on him. They bring him down, but a big chunk of yardage on the play. This line getting set up. It's a first down play. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun, looking for a receiver. Incomplete, very lucky to avoid an interception there. Important second down play coming up. And he'll set up to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Morris. They make the stop, but the offense is set up in scoring position. First down from the 23. A play action looking to throw. And the pass is way off the mark. Not sure who he meant to throw that ball to. Second man and 10 after the incompletion from the 23. Catch made on the right side. They make the tackle, but that pass creates a solid gain. Offense gets set up here. It's third down. Looking to pick up the first down through the air. Locates the tight end. It's complete. The Hoosiers pick up enough yardage to move the sticks. Looking for a gap. It's Hemby.
Chris, textbook job by the defense surrounding the runner and preventing that play from being bounced to the outside.
They look to throw it here on second down. Looking to the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Hoosiers.
Well, that's a thing of beauty right there. Good job all around. Offensive line gave the quarterback enough time. Quarterback puts it right on the money. And with this receiver running a route like this, makes it pretty simple. All you have to do is get his head turned around, catch that football. He's already in the end zone for the touchdown.
Now they line up to kick the extra point. With the extra point, the lead is 14. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. And the kickoff will be a return. Will be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Offense out there for the first play of this drive from the 18. Dropping back, it's Jennings. Quick throw, testing the middle. He's got it with room to run. Stop out at the 39, but good enough for a first down. The Mustangs come to the line looking to crank up the tempo. They'll run it here. Run it up the middle, but stuff for no gain. Offense getting set. It's second down.
You know, a lot of times you see teams go up-tempo when they've got momentum. It comes off to a big gain. These guys are struggling, and yet here they go, going back to old reliable, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage again.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. The offense facing a tough conversion here, third and long from the 42. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Incomplete. He was good as he threw the ball, That's a big third down defensive play. And the Mustangs will send their punt team onto the field. And he'll kick it away now for the second time. Ball lands right at the 1-yard line and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first play of the drive now from the 20-yard line. Trying to find some room. It's Pemby. He's got the first and still going. He's brought down, but what a pickup on the ground.
Big runs like this are just demoralizing for a defense. It's one thing to give up big plays over your head against the pass game. When teams can run the ball, pick up yards like this, it really affects the team's mental psyche and their confidence. And you'll start to see some missed tackles following a play like this.
On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Finds a man open on the right side downfield. And they tackle him, but not before he picks up the first. So Kirk, Indiana has the lead here. And as we reach the end of one, the lead is starting to mount. Let's take a quick look at the first quarter stats before we move on. We'll see if this game gets out of hand before halftime, the crucial second quarter beginning right now. So here we go, first play of the quarter. The offense has a first down. From the shotgun, it's a handoff. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Offense behind the 6 now on 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Throwing off play action. Quick throw to his receiver. Wide open downfield. Tackle made after a big gain. And the Hoosiers getting set on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Looks to the left, and it's complete. Completion makes it second down.
Man, where's the scouting report for this defense? You knew coming into this game this tight end was capable. That's his 5th catch in this first half.
Looking for his big tight end. Finds a receiver in the middle of the field. They stop him at the 4, but it sets up this offense with a 1st and goal. The Hoosiers looking to punch it in here. It's 1st and goal. 1st and goal, handoff. Going absolutely nowhere with a loss on the play. So off the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 7. To throw, it's Mendoza. The pass rush closing in. Quarterback finds a target on the right. It's complete. Tackled down at the 3 after the catch. Defense up against it now. Motion by the back will make the defense adjust. And it's a direct snap. Oh, and he's going backwards. The Wildcat look did not fool this defense at all. So on 4th down, they will settle for a field goal attempt. The field goal is good. And they add to their lead.
And that one, my gosh, I mean, it's almost too easy. Nice kick.
After adding 3 more points to the lead, they're set to kick it off. They'll return it from inside the 5. Makes it to the 16. That's good coverage there. For the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. Quarterback keeps the football. And the defense smothers him for no gain. The Mustangs come to the line to run the hurry-up.
It's a nice job by this defense. They saw option. They actually forced the quarterback to pull the ball on the read, and then they corral him for a loss. You could tell they worked hard on that in practice.
That's a solid gain. Moves the ball out to the 28. First down to 10.
That's a big first down for this offense, and it's not been a great day so far, but maybe this play can get them going. And keep this in mind, Chris, because they started the game with the possession, they will not get to start the second half on offense, so they need points right here.
Offense right to the line, cranking up the tempo.
That's a really good run by this offense, and Chris, here they go. Up-tempo offense looking for a first down.
And he can't hold on right in his hands, and he dropped it. After the incompletion, they'll come to the line for a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. It's Jennings. It's a short completion to the big tight end. Ball carrier heads out of bounds, but the pickup is good enough to move the chains. First down.
Well, it's got to start somewhere, and there's a nice first down to keep this drive alive and hope to be able to create a little bit of momentum here near the end of the first half, trying to cut into this lead and get some points on the board.
Out of the shotgun, he hands it off. He's got the first down and still motoring. They finally make the stop right near midfield. It'll be first down. Okay, we reached the 2-minute timeout. The offense some work to do here trying to cut into this lead before halftime. Off the play fake on first down. Grab down the middle. It's Knight. And they bring him down, but not before he reaches the 38. First down from there. From the shotgun now, here's a handoff inside. Slams right into a wall. They've got him for a loss. Been a really solid drive, and now a challenge here coming up on 2nd and 13. Quick throw over the middle. Oh, he makes the catch. He made the stop at the 26, but it's a first down. This offense in good scoring position now.
Well, here the defense decided to sit back and play zone, and that front didn't do a good job of pressuring the quarterback. He had the time to make the throw, and he put it on target.
This offense has gotten going at long last. It's another 1st and 10. Pulls it in. It's Knight. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here. Wide open downfield. Fights into the end zone. Touchdown, SMU.
Love to watch this quarterback go out and execute in this kind of situation. He's doing a great job of ignoring the scoreboard and feeling a sense of pressure to have to play with more urgency. Right now, he's executing. We're in the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
And they'll set up for the PAT. PAT is good. They still trail, though. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Well, they thought about coming out, but instead takes a knee to bring the football to the 25-yard line. So the first play of the drive here coming up, less than 2 minutes left on the clock. Looking to pass, it's Mendoza. With the catch, it's Cooper. They get it down, but the gain moves the ball up to the 36. The offense will take their first 10 out of the half. We'll talk strategy here. The offense will set up on 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. It's a quick grab.
Well, it's a game of matchups. Always has been and it always will be, especially on the perimeter. And the quarterback believes his guy is better than their guy.
Looks over the middle, and that's complete. And the Hoosiers pick up enough for a first down. And the quarterback looking to make a play through the air. He's going to take off here. Slides to avoid the big hit. Offense getting set. 2nd down play here. And the offense will use a timeout. Have a quick meeting on the sideline. Getting set. Here's 2nd down. Movement here from the tight end. Looking to pass here on 2nd down. Lets it go quickly. Catch made in space. Look out. He's brought down, but an explosive play for this passing game.
I love plays like this when everything just kind of comes together. It's like an orchestra. Offensive line giving the quarterback enough time. The receiver works from the left all the way over across the formation to the right. And the quarterback with that time puts the ball right on the money. Well designed and well executed here for a big play for this offense.
And they finally stop him, but a decent gain that time. The offense comes back out there. Not much time left. Perhaps just time for a couple plays before the half. Catch made on the left side. Touchdown, Indiana. They couldn't stop him there.
I mean, body blow after body blow. It just cannot get any worse for this defense. The offense, once again, driving the ball down the field, puts the ball into the end zone for another touchdown.
Extra point try coming now. The extra point is good. They stretch the lead a little bit more. So an important touchdown just before halftime. Not much time for the opposing offense to try to answer before the break. Return begins inside the 10. They'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. So they'll just take a knee here, and that will send us to halftime. Looks like the offense is content to run out the clock here and just take it to intermission. Miller's going to wrap up the first half here. Let's kick it now to Kevin Connors with our halftime update.
Thanks, fellas. Perfect chance for us to put the first 2 quarters under the microscope. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by giving props to this superstar tight end. He's been almost, you know what, check that. He has been unguardable with that unusual blend of speed, size, hands, and route running. He is a pick-your-poison kind of player. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to watch this one unfold. Back to our guys in the booth.
The Hoosiers will kick it away to get us going in the second half. He's going to try for a return from a couple yards deep in the end zone. And the returner is brought down. Here's the first play of the drive now. They're backed up at their own 14. To throw, it's Jennings. Quick throw complete to the tight end.
And there's the tight end who shows off his hands.
Completion sets up a second down play. Play action fake, looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. Oh, and it's almost picked off. A chance for their first interception today. Going to set up third down. Quarterback drops back, probing the secondary. Oh, and he can't quite hold on. A great chance for their first interception here today. But it's going to bring up fourth down. They'll kick it away here. No fair catch. He feels the punt. Good effort by the return man. They get him down, but that's a solid gain on the return. And now the first play of this drive. They'll begin at the 36. Breaks into the clear. Great cut there. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play. First and 10 play coming up. There's the snap. He's looking to throw. Using his legs on the scramble. And the junior quarterback shows his toughness. Keeps this drive moving. Big chunk play. This offense operating at peak efficiency. On first and 10, they'll look to throw it. He's running out of time here. Oh, the pass rush gets home.
Chris, that is textbook by this defense in man-to-man coverage. Nowhere to go for this quarterback. He's looking around everywhere to find an open man. By the time he figures it out, it's a sack for the defense.
The offense will look to regroup here at 2nd and 11. Back to pass. It's Mendoza. And that pass is hauled in over the middle. They bring him down quickly. A short pitch and catch to get a little bit closer to the marker. Drops back, needing a third down completion here. Looking downfield near the end zone. Oh, and he dropped it. He could not hang on for a touchdown. My goodness. So now on fourth down, out comes the field goal unit. Knocks that one right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further.
Oh, Chris, it's a nice kick here to polish off that drive with at least 3 points up on the board.
So after adding to this big lead, they'll set to kick it away. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now. They begin at the 19. First down, looking to throw the ball. And it's incomplete. Just missed the wide receiver there. Second down play coming up. And they're moving the receiver now before the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. Quarterback gets down to avoid the big hit. And the Mustangs come to the line in the hurry-up. On third down, he drops to throw. Lets it fly to the wideout. Caught over the middle. It's Knight. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play. The Mustangs with 1st and 10 here.
Really good job here of converting by this offense. And let's face it, at this point in the game, because they have such a big hole to climb out of, they've got to be able to convert and come up with a new set of downs. They do it here. Now they got a real shot to cut into this lead.
Another first down for the offense.
And the Mustangs keep the football on the move. Scanning the field, it's Jennings. Short pass finds the tight end. They make the stop at the 25, but it's 1st and 10 for this offense. How aggressive will they be on this first down play?
Well, these big pass plays can jumpstart this offense a bit, and here they go with the tempo, looking to get this defense confused and out of position.
Tackle is made, but the gain sets the offense up. 1st and goal from the 9. And now a timeout quickly called by the defense as they try to get everybody on the same page here. So 2 big plays in a row. The defense is reeling here. Now it's 1st and goal. The quarterback keeps it on the option. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The defense will spend their 2nd timeout here to make some adjustments. 2nd down and goal upcoming. Here's the snap. Offense looking to throw the ball. He's got it near the end zone. Ball carrier wrapped up and brought down. They've been stopped on 3rd down twice in the red zone already. And they fight. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Chris, that's what I love about this quarterback. It's a great touchdown, but he shows you his versatility. We know he can throw it, but here he shows you his speed and how he can make the defense pay for that as well.
See if they can convert the point after. And he knocks it right through. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. Returner looking to make a play here. Solid job by the coverage team. They bring him down at the 16. For the first play of the drive, they'll set up at the 16. Play action here on 1st down. Looking for the wideout. And it's incomplete as he just overthrew his receiver that time. Offense getting set up. Here's 2nd down. Off the play fake. Looking to pass it. The pressure is coming. This time it's complete. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain. More than enough to pick up a 1st down. Back to throw. It's Mendoza. A deep shot to the left side. And the pass is dropped incomplete. Would have had a huge gain. Took his eye off the ball. 2nd and 10 here. And the quarterback keeps it here. The defense all over it. They stop him right at the line. So it's 3rd and long from the 29. The defense play coverage or blitz. Dropping back, looking to throw for the 1st down. Receiver makes the catch. The defense will wrap him up after a 7-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th down. And the Hoosiers will have to kick this away. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, it landed at the 8-yard line, but a lucky bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first play of the drive now from the 20-yard line. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff. Solid run. They'll bring it down to the 28-yard line. So, Kirk, Indiana has the lead here. We've reached the end of 3. Time is running out to cut into the lead. Let's take a look at the game stats before we move on. One quarter to go. Let's see if this sets up as a classic finish. Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter. On the ground, it's Harden. And he goes nowhere. Stop cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Mustangs will hustle to the line to run the hurry-up offense. Shotgun formation here on third down. Grab down the middle. It's Maryland. They keep the drive going. It's a first down to the 46.
Chris, here we are in the fourth quarter. These guys are trailing. Hadn't been a great day, but with this quarterback, he's as gifted as anybody in the country. You never count these guys out.
Looking right, this one caught.
This is an example of a quarterback and his offense just taking what the defense gives you. Not a huge play, but positive yards. The defense wants to give that throw to you. You take it, get the ball to your receiver, stay ahead of the sticks.
Caught over the middle. It's Maryland. Tackle's made quickly, but that's a big gain. Ball moves to the 35-yard line.
Hey, it's a nice gain here, and they get the first down to stop the clock. But late in the game, trailing by a couple scores, these receivers have got to be thinking about getting out of bounds as often as they can to preserve that clock, to give them a real shot to come back to win it.
That's caught. It's Harden. And a big game before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs. They'll try the ground game here. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Been a really productive drive, but the loss there now makes it 2nd and 12.
Chris, overall, it's been a tough day for this offense, but especially for this running back. Just not able to find any kind of traction at all. And it's made this offense somewhat one-dimensional, and a large reason they're trailing in the fourth quarter.
And the Mustangs lining up here on 1st and 10. Looking to throw it from the red zone. Catch made on the left side. Brought down at the 5 after the catch. The offense really threatening now. So here comes second down now. Every play important down here in the red zone. The pocket breaking down. Touchdown, SMU. Great catch when they desperately needed it. That's a crucial score, Kirk. Makes it a one-possession game and makes the stretch run of this very interesting.
Yeah, now the pressure turns to their opponent and their offense. Momentum is starting to tilt, and it's your job to go into your 4-minute offense. I'd expect this defense to be extra aggressive to try to get this ball back.
PAT up and good to get a little bit closer. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. Fields it just outside the goal line. And they stop him at the 23. That's solid coverage. And they'll start the drive here from the 23-yard line. Chewing clock with the running game. He's got room to run. First down, looking for more now. Now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Here's a 1st and 10 play. Handoff from the shotgun. They've got him down out near the 40. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible. Jet sweep call. Now they test the middle of the defense, but get nothing. Now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Keeps it on the draw. 0 running room, stopped right at the line of scrimmage. The Hoosiers will bring their punt team onto the field. So the clock stops as we head into the final 2 minutes of play here. This defense needing to step up and make a play now. And at 4th down, they'll punt it away here. And the punt will bounce out of bounds. Great execution that time. The offense in a tough spot to start the drive. To throw, it's Jennings. Grabbed by the receiver. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a first down. Tight game. Final 2 minutes. Can the offense make a play here? And they desperately need it. Taking a deep shot here late in the game. Makes the catch for a huge gain right near the sideline.
Hey, you're trailing late in the game like this. You're looking to get the ball thrown to the outside on the perimeter, make a nice catch, pick up positive yards, and then get out of bounds. If that defense is going to give it to you, take it every time.
Hold on a second. The replay official has signaled that he wants to have another look at this play. Well, they took a look just to confirm it, but it looks like they got it right on the field. After the review, the play will stand. Looking to throw it on first down. Makes the catch. It's Harden.
Well, I love to see this quarterback throwing the football the way he is. That's the way you start a drive. 3 for 3, and let's keep it going.
Looking to throw it again. That one falls incomplete. Looking for a flag. Doesn't get it. Brings up third down. Here we go, trailing late in the game here. Serious urgency for this offense right now. The sure hands. It's Harden. The gain is not enough for first down, so it brings up a 4th and short. Maybe the last shot here. And the pass is incomplete. A crucial misfire here late in the game, and the ball will turn over on downs. And the offense just takes a knee here.